love with the cocoa. I got it for the low.
Okay guys, today's video is going to be a bit different because it did not go to plan at all today, and that all stems from last night. So basically I'm going to talk you through what happened and what I did wrong and how we can learn from this and how I can improve my control in the future. So after yesterday I tried to sleep and it just went straight hypo pretty much, like just after I'd finished editing, uploading the video. So about 2 in the morning it went hypo, and I corrected that hypo with some Haribos, and that was after the chocolate brioches, so that was fairly substantial. And then I woke up again later on in the middle of the night and I was really quite severely hypo. It said LO on the scanner, so that means it's below, I think, about like 2.3, 2.4. So really not good stuff, and just instantly I panicked because I'd just woken up from sleeping, so I was not expecting to be experiencing that. So I smashed down about 150 grams of Haribos and 2 chocolate brioches, because when I get hypo I get really bad cravings and just panic thinking that I'm gonna die, and smash down a load of excess carbohydrates. So I end up, that's about 160 carbohydrates I had. So pitch that at about 3 in the morning, roughly 3, 4 in the morning. So then I go back to sleep because I'm absolutely knackered and I don't really think about what I'm doing here, because I'm just like, I need to sleep. I've just fixed this hypo, I finally feel better. Go back to bed, and I wake up in the morning at 7:30 for my alarm for my lectures at 9 AM and test blood sugar levels, and it says 20. And I knew what it was going to say before I even scanned myself, really, because I knew I'd made it. I instantly woke up and thought, oh no, I ate way too much. There's no way this is right, and I don't feel great. So it said 20, and it had been high for quite a while. And honestly, at that point, I just couldn't make the lecture, so I just felt awful and knew I need to fix this, because you have the whole knock-on effect of one hypo and then a massive high, and then you've eaten this food. Sorry, my phone ran out of memory, so I have to keep going now. Anyway, so I then woke up again at 11 o'clock and I was hypo again, because I'd corrected when I got up earlier, obviously, and overdone it, because it was just so frustrating, because you become more sensitive, basically, which I'll explain as we go on in the video. You become more sensitive to insulin effectively after you've had a hypo, especially as a severe one as I'd had. So then I continued with my day as normal. So I got up, had breakfast, I had not 70 grams, I had 100 grams of Wheatos in the morning, which is about 75 grams of carbohydrates, and I only bolused in 5.5 units. And the recommended dose for that would normally be about 9.3. So I did reduce the dose, which was good, and then I went off to conditioning and it was looking fine. I went into conditioning, it was at 14, which is fine. I still had food burning, had insulin in, so it was looking pretty decent. I mean, 14 is not ideal, but it's marginally high, but for exercise it's not bad at all. Should have gone down, should have been great. So started working out, about half an hour in, so about 1:30, I tested again. It was 10 with a straight down arrow, and I knew at that point it was having none of it. It was just going to collapse and go straight down. So I suspended my insulin pump to try and stop this, and it worked reasonably well, but it still kept falling to around 5 or 6. And when you're exercising, it doesn't feel good to know that you're about 2 minutes away from feeling hypo and having to stop altogether. So that wasn't great, and eventually at 3 o'clock, because I was exercising up until about 2:45, so from 1 to 2:45 I was exercising, just to clarify, and then I went hypo, and that was frustrating. So I treated it, and then I had a mini snack on the way to the library, and that was carbohydrate, like not carbohydrate light, and it barely impacted my blood sugars. I went from like 6 up to about 10, and that was it, from carbohydrates that should have sent me high, but I knew it wouldn't, because of the way it was responding to carbohydrates and insulin in general. So then after all that, got back here, relaxed a bit, recovered after conditioning, had dinner at about 10, and again I bolused for 5 units, and the dose should have been about 6.5, and I thought it might be fine now. Maybe those carbs that should have sent me high earlier have refilled my stores of glycogen. Apparently not, because again I've gone hypo, And even now we're sat, it's 20-1. I went hypo and it's now recovered. 9 point, I don't know if you can see it on there, let me just focus it for you quickly. 9.6. So it's not bad. That's fine. My insulin pump isn't suspended and I have 0.7 units of active insulin, so that should be golden for tonight. We should have sorted it. That should be the problem fixed. But I'll be honest, it has significantly impacted my day to day. I didn't sleep well. It was not clean sleep. It wasn't prolonged sleep. It wasn't deep. Sorry guys, the memory ran again, but hopefully it should be all good. So as I was saying, the sleep quality was poor, and then I missed my 9 a.m.s due to just feeling bad from the highs and lows and that of the diabetes over the night. And then at conditioning, I had to take a break as well, so I'm not getting full value from that, which just, it led to me being annoyed, and you don't feel 100%. You just don't. It's really not great, and you feel the diabetes, which is nothing. You just don't want to feel it. You want to feel that you don't have the illness when you do. That's the dream, basically. To feel like you're not diabetic when you are is the goal. So the key to fixing this is just acknowledging the recurring nature of hypos and how we can combat that. So when you go hypo once, it basically depletes your glycogen stores, which is like your backup sugar stores. So when it does that, your body's trying to then replenish those stores. So when you eat, it'll try and take from them. So as you noticed with my breakfast, I put in a dose that was normal. It then decided that it was going to take some of the carbohydrates from that, and therefore I went low again. And then the carbohydrates I had later in the day that would normally have sent me high, it didn't, because it was taking from them again. And then again at dinner time today, when I've gone low, it's taking from those carbohydrates, because I've had so many hypos and it just keeps recurring over and over. So in future, what I'm going to do is cut bolus doses to 75% of what they normally are, just as a trial thing. It might need to be lower than that, but we'll see. And basal rates to 8%, and this is for the next 24 hours after a major hypo. So I think a major hypo is just anything below, I'm going to go with below 3 on my Libra, Freestyle Libra thing in my arm, because I think those are the ones that really hit your glycogen stores. Your body does start to panic a bit. So that's the main lesson. The other main lesson is something I covered in a previous video, because I have a bad habit of doing it, which is overreacting to hypos. So the hypo I had in the middle of the night was not necessary to have what I did. I had food that was equal to 160 grams of carbohydrates, which is just mental. End up at 20, which just shows how poor and how bad a decision it was. So again, don't overreact to your hypos. You just have to be sensible, take your dose, and take the right amount of carbohydrates and just trust that it's going to work, rather than doing what I did and panicking, because it just leads to so many issues and can ruin your next day. Which it didn't ruin my day, fortunately. There was other good things in my day, but it definitely put a dampener on it. It could have been so much better with good diabetes. So hopefully you guys have learned, because I've been diabetic for 14 years and I'm still learning. I was diagnosed at type 1 diabetic when I was 5 and I'm now 19. So still learning, still growing with it, and it's growing with my body. So it's weird, it's interesting, but hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes and I can learn from them too, and then we can all have better control, and that'll be so much better. So thanks for watching today's video. Tomorrow's video should be happier. I should have better control. Everything seems to be going good now, so I'm going to pop off to bed, and then tomorrow's video should be good. And we should get some good shots, because in Edinburgh right now, there's the Christmas markets and that, so I can get some nice shots from North Bridge, hopefully. And I've got another 9 a.m, so hopefully we can attend that this time and make some progress there. So thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow.